Well, how you like that there fancy new intro there that Mikey made up there, snuck in there. I didn't even know he was going to do it. He pulled one on me. And now, welcome everyone to the show, by the way, another edition of Deconversion Stories. I do have a bit of an announcement here. Put it this way. Mikey here has been with me for over a couple of years now, right? And recently, within the past, what is it, 6 months or so, or 7 months, give or take, you've been in the show.
Right.
As part of it. So we're going to revamp the channel. This is something that I've been wanting to do now. I've been thinking about it for a little bit. It's going to be Deconversion Stories with Neil the 604 Atheist and Mikey Famine. It's going to be the both of us in the title. Going to revamp the channel and do a little bit more artwork, get some new stuff up there. And I'm sorry, you'll probably have to redo the intro again. But Mikey, you've been with me for a long time. You are part of the show, and I will not have it any other way.
Cool.
I will not have it any other way.
Awesome.
See, I'm going to get, you see that little logo down there in the corner there? That's going to change too, because we're both going to be in it from here on out. So here's the deal, folks.
Can it be Rick and Morty themed?
Yeah, we can do something like that. Well, I still want to keep the red and black and white and stuff like that, because that's my colors, man. But here's the thing. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put it out there to you guys out there in the audience. All right. What I need is some artwork of myself and Mikey together with some sort of a background, a little bit of a Canada-US combination sort of thing, with Deconversion Stories with Neil the 604 Atheist and Mikey Famine that we can use as our artwork. And the ones that Mikey and I will choose are going to get a signed copy of my first CD of the band that came out, or the CD that we came out with way back in the day, back in 2007. So it's got 6 good tunes on it. And I'm pretty sure you'll like them all. Most people do. And of course, I will throw in some cash as well and pay for the artwork. So I put it out to you guys. So start sending your artwork and stuff like that to either 604atheist@gmail.com or what's yours, Mike?
We the Deviants, or the deviantspod@gmail.com. I'm going to change my email anyway. So
okay.
To be determined. I gotta get a new one.
Then for now, send it to me via my email. And let's get this ball rolling, because I think it's about time that Mikey got far more accolades than he does from me in here for being a part of the show, because he's been like a brother to me and helped me out like you can't believe. So I very much appreciate it, Mikey, and you are going to be a part of the whole banners and everything. So it's about time.
Oh no, more of my face. More of my face. My least favorite part of the show. Well, thank you, sir.
All right. Well, yeah, no, it's about time, man. And Paul is my guest today. Paul Koehler, who's a producer for the one and only Creaky Blinder, who I did link his channel to below so you can see what Paul does for Creaky. And also I've got his Twitter down below if you want to stalk him there on Twitter. So let's get into it. Paul, you know what I do here? I chat with folks about their journeys away from whatever faith systems they're once part of. And I kind of like them to sort of take us away, from the beginning to becoming an advocate or whatever that you are now. Also, we're going to talk a little bit about how you got started with Creaky, how all that unfolded and whatnot, because I bet you that's a pretty fun story too.
It's more of me just being a really persistent weasel.
Okay.
I honestly was pretty late to the boat with Creaky. I didn't start watching him till probably last year. I'd caught a couple because I've been watching Aaron and Pelagia and Vice Rhino and all that stuff for years and years and years now. Mm-hmm. And I think I'm pretty sure I found him because I was watching Schrodinger's cat and kind of migrated towards the flat earther, making fun of the flat earthers and the sovereign citizens and all that funny stuff. And
FYI.
Neil's a sovereign citizen.
Nice. He said Neil's a sovereign citizen. Schrodinger's surprise. That's the cat turd that's left in the box, right?
Yeah, no. So it's 100% dead, 100% alive. It's
gotcha.
Position, folks.
Yeah, that's right. I couldn't read it. I don't have my old man glasses on. Sorry.
Do you want to borrow mine?
I got 2 pairs somewhere on my desk, but fuck me if I can find them. Anyhow, so I started watching him, and I dug his content because he's a goofball, and I kind of get his humor, which he says that his humor is very, very Welsh, and I'm not Welsh like at all. Yeah, mine look very similar to that. Did you steal them? And my phone went off. Sorry, folks.
And it's Godzilla. That's the best.
Yeah. Well, so here's the thing. My middle kid V is in the hospital right now. They went in yesterday at 8 p.m. and got labor induced because they're very, very pregnant. And
wait,
still haven't.
Whoa. Back up here.
Yeah.
V?
Yeah.
As in V and Eric?
No.
Okay. Okay. Never mind that.
No.
So,
this kid.
Yeah, my kid V. V is.
It could have been V's dad. I don't know.
I'm still trying to turn my volume down. I'm so distracted right now. V's my middle. V's 19.
I'm sorry. What? Could you turn that back up? No, I was kidding.
You want me to turn this up, Neil? Can you hear it?
Here's the whole bouquet, buddy.
But yeah, anyway, that's why my phone was on and right there, because still hasn't had the kid. Just kind of waiting.
I thought you were gonna say your middle kid got crushed by Godzilla, and you just wanted to remember it. I was like, oh no, and it's a Godzilla reminder.
That would be a weird, yeah. That'd be cool because that'd mean Godzilla was real. And Godzilla's the shit.
Like,
so
yes, and my middle kid was hunting Godzilla the other day, and it just didn't go well. Horribly maimed in the hospital right now from a laser attack.
They beat up Manila though. Kicked his ass. Fuck that guy.
Fucked him right up. Took his lunch.
Where's your bandana? Yeah, I figured I'd be a bandana brother today.
He's like, fuck, I don't have one. It's okay.
Amazon, how quick can you get this to me? What if there's a hat that's shaped like a bandana? Never mind.
I'm sure there is. You could just get a non-snapback and turn it around with the, and make sure it has the shit on it or whatever. Fitted.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Get it printed with the.
I have a really big head and a lot of hair. I have to wear snapbacks. It's unfortunate.
I hate snapbacks. I love the fitteds, because I wear mine backwards a lot. Right. And that plastic shit irritates the piss out of my forehead.
That's why I started wearing it forward.
Yeah.
That's for you, by the way, Paul.
Steph, I keep messaging you on Discord. I know you're busy, but it's not again, though. This is my first grandkid.
Oh, man.
So, yeah, we're like on pins and needles.
Yeah.
I was hoping the kid would come yesterday. I keep saying she, I keep fucking up because V's non-binary. V was born Olivia, my daughter, and is non-binary and goes by V. And I keep messing up. But yeah, they went in yesterday and was Stephanie.
Oh, that sucks.
You need some muscle? We can do this for you.
Steph, you can find me in the Creaky server. Send me a message. I'll send you my phone number so that it's easier for you somehow, or on Twitter, because I think you got me on Twitter too. Just DM me, because that sucks.
Yeah.
And it wasn't me. Anyway, we've digressed really far, haven't we?
Sorry.
That's okay. We can snap right back into it. See what I did there? Snap back. Never mind.
Oh, shit. Anyway, Creaky, yeah. So I like this shit. I went into his Discord server. We keep getting back to Discord, which sucks because Discord's booty, like I said. And there's a pretty good group of people in there. And I had watched one of his videos and I saw that he had a little vape, and I had messaged him. I was like, hey, what was that, cute, adorable little vape you had in there? And he messaged me back. And from there, it was just us going back and forth in Discord DMs, realizing that we have very similar brain patterns. And then him he was having trouble with one of the streams, the There We Are, then the Twat streams. And I can't remember if it was the one with Ranty from Perspective. Mm-hmm. So I had come into the green room because we got it set up through the vMix. The callers go into the Discord server, they get put into the green room, and then Creaky comes into the Discord server and speaks to them through that. That's how he's got it set up. And I was like, well, I'll just run the green room for you. So I started off doing that, and then it was hey, who do you got booked for next week? I won't tell anybody. He's like, I really don't have anybody. I'm like, well, do you mind if I reach out to people and try to get people on the show? And he's like, yeah. So next thing you know, I got Aaron Ra, Pierogi, Vice Rhino, Gutsick Gibbon. And so now
she's awesome too.
Dude, Erica's the best.
Yeah.
And so that's what I do. I still run the green room and everything, but I book the guests. I set the schedule. I write all the talking points for the twat stream. That's really, I don't have a whole lot to do with other than input the stuff on his main page. It's just the There We Are Then stream that it's kind of my baby.
Nice.
So,
nice.
but it's fun.
Oh yeah, no doubt. Because Creaky's a fun guy, man. Like when he the way he interacts even with the folks when he does those chatting with everyone in the chat type shows. That
Yeah.
Anyways, he's a really cool guy, easy to get along with. So I don't blame you for liking what he does, because he does a lot of really good shit.
He's a good guy too. I mean, we talk outside of Discord and Twitter and all that, and he's a really private dude. But once you get to know him, he's pretty cool. You
two can hear me, right? Because it looks like in the chat they can't hear me for some reason.
I can hear you.
Okay. Yeah. Well, I don't think I went anywhere, to be honest. I think my sound has always been working here with us, because you've all been replying to me.
Yeah.
Oh, Ollie says it's back now. He says that was weird. Creaky is deceptively intelligent, says Mark Caesar, which I agree.
Well, I mean, he makes the same claim that I do, which I usually open up with when I do stuff like this, is I'm a fucking idiot. So I am really not a smart man, and my views do not reflect anything from Neil or Mikey. So if I say anything that's really stupid, that's on me.
Don't worry, we have a banner for that actually.
Do you?
I can't remember where it is though. Oh wait,
Yeah,
I
I
think it's in
gotcha.
the disclaimers. It's this one here.
Use and pronouns expressly, yes, do not necessarily reflect the view. Yep, love it. That's good stuff. Got to get Creaky to make something like that for his guests. Although,
yeah,
you've seen an after party.
Yep, I've been in a couple.
You see the necessity.
I'm glad.
But yeah, like Creaky's content. When he was doing the streams and stuff, he was booking more flat Earth debunkers and stuff like that, and I really he kind of gave me free reign, so he kind of fucked up. And so I've been just booking atheist content creators and stuff like that. Not that I have an agenda on that or anything. It's just that's what I'm more familiar with. So that's kind of where they've gone. And I know he doesn't mind the flat Earth stuff is his core audience. So he'll never get away with that, even though the whole it's not nearly as popular as it was even 2 years ago.
Right.
But the flat Earth videos on his main channel still do really, really well. So
we could do different days, like flat Earth days, atheism days.
Well, yeah, but then he'd be
Fun
accused
game
of
day.
Sniffing Sci-Fi Dan's butt again. And
What? I messaged Sci-Fi Dan
after the whole thing on Twitter last week or whenever it was.
No, he had posted something on Twitter, and I saw him post. I was like, "Hey Dan, I've got a question for you too, if you don't mind. Could you send me a DM?"
Yeah.
He's like, "Yeah, sure." And he did. He says, "What can I do for you?" And I gave him the spiel. I said, first off, I'm a big fan of the show. I love what you do. I think you're great. I also have my own show where I talk to people about their deconversion stories. Would that be something you'd be interested in? And he saw it, but never replied.
Well, do you remember we were talking about that? I can't remember when, but because I commented after he said, "Yeah, sure, no problem." I was like, "Gee, it's that easy."
Yep.
Because I've been emailing him for months, and he's him and Creaky talk outside of YouTube and stuff. That Creaky's done stuff on his channel. I'm like, I just want to get him on for a stream, and he doesn't respond to emails. But I mean, that's what happens when you got almost 500,000 subscribers, I guess.
Yeah,
a lot of emails.
I guess I don't know.
Yeah.
But anyway, so yeah, that was a very a weaselly way for me to get in working for a YouTube content creator. Just hey, what's up?
I can help you.
Yeah.
For me, I just created a problem that I was the only solution to.
Well, there you go. See, that's the smart way of doing it, though, ain't it?
Wait a minute.
First, you have to create a power vacuum, and then you can install yourself as a replacement because it's so much better than the power vacuum.
Listen to this guy.
50%.
Forget everything I said at the beginning, folks. No.
Oh,
50% of the time, it works every time.
every time. It's one of the best movies to quote. Oh, shit.
I just since Star Wars Day, I've been watching all the Star Wars in the whole order and whatnot. So I just finished Solo before the show.
I liked that one. I think I said that before in a stream. I dug Solo. I like the sequels. You know, the new stuff. I mean,
I like all of it.
I know a lot of people have huge problems with, you know, it being too woke or whatever, but I mean, it's
Too
fucking
woke.
Star Wars
content.
content. Well, with the Mary Sue, Rey being a Mary Sue, and you know, she didn't have to train to fucking be really, really good in the Force, but I mean, she kind of did train, and not.
Yeah.
I mean, if you think about it, Luke didn't train a whole lot, at least on screen.
Right.
You know, and by the end of fucking Return, he was messing up Vader, who was a badass.
He did a couple of cartwheels in the swamp, and now he's just fucking sword master, and everyone just took that as fine.
Yeah, but if a female does it, it's like, no, it's a Mary Sue. It's too woke for me. It's like, fuck you.
There's no way she could get that much strength and that
Fuck
short
that
amount of time.
fuck whatever. Stay the fuck home then, you idiot.
She's a Palpatine. Seriously, go into the canon of Palpatine, man. Shmi fucking Palpatine was just OP as balls.
Yeah.
Not Shmi. What's his name? Is it Shmiel? Shmi? I forget.
Shmi is Anakin's mom's name.
His mom. But Palpatine's first name is something similar to that. Fuck.
Lucretius.
No.
That'd be cool. Anyhow,
Oh,
we're talking
Google
about
it.
Star Wars again.
Google it. It always happens, man.
If only I had a device that could tell me.
That requires me to look away from the screen.
Oh my god, Palpatine first name was like the third result down. Sheev,
Sheev.
S-H-E. You were
I
right.
was close.
You were right there.
Yeah.
Fucking Dave, Simply Secular Dave, who just showed up in the chat, just texted me and showed me an open box of Krispy Kreme fucking donuts. Like, what's wrong with you, man?
I may
sorry.
or may not have sent my cousin a picture of a St. Louis style pizza because she moved to Texas and she hasn't been able to have it for a while. So I took a picture of it like right as it opened. I sent her the pic. Yeah, it was
Steam coming out and shit.
Yeah, it was all bubbling and delicious. It's great.
So unpopular opinion, I don't care for donuts.
I'm not a sweets guy.
Oh, I don't have a major sweet tooth, which is crazy because my mom's got a giant sweet tooth. She's got candy stashed all over my parents' house. And she's like 5'2", like 90 pounds. I'm like, how do you eat so much candy and not gain any fucking weight? That's like all she eats.
Exactly.
I don't have a metabolism.
If it's all you eat,
then your body just understands how to process it. Is that how? Okay.
She's running.
Fucking talking about, but
she's running like on jet fuel, like a hummingbird, just straight sugar.
And he's got M&Ms. Are those Canadian M&Ms?
M&A.
M&A? So my old man worked for General Motors and actually lived in Oshawa for like 3 years because they sent him there to do what he does for GM. And you know, he was like 2 clicks off of Lake Ontario. I said clicks because that's very Canadian.
That is funny.
One of the first, like, he always wears a hat. Well, he did. He's almost 70 now, so he doesn't anymore because I guess old guys don't do that. I don't fucking know. Anyhow, first hat he bought when he was over there was this red cap, and it said Canada on it, and it was on front of a maple leaf and shit. He wore that all the time in Canada. I'm like, dude, we're gonna get beat up.
Yeah,
politely, but
sorry,
eh?
Sorry about your eye.
Yeah. What's really funny is that, you know, because of that, I know tons of Canadians, and there you go, Jack. See, I make my own beef jerky. I won't buy that stuff. I'm a snob.
I don't believe you. Maybe
hang on.
Send them to my house, and then I'll believe you.
Give me your address. I'll make it. Do you like spicy? Because my best jerky that I make is a sriracha.
Nah, you said you was way
Nice.
too excited when you said spicy. And then Neil, like, y'all got some secret spice language. No, thank you. I will take the normal,
about,
normal
like,
kind,
so,
not
like,
the burn you alive kind. Thank you very
my
much.
two go-tos are a sriracha and then a teriyaki, but I also get like an Asian like orange sauce, like for orange chicken, and I make some of that. Those are really good too.
Wow.
I got a spice for you after this that you're gonna start cooking with, and you're gonna love me forever. We're gonna be best friends after that.
I'll find my notebook and pen.
Seriously, hello everyone.
It's good shit.
Like that I get to see Paul outside of a side chat and managing Discord.
Yeah. Like I said, Creaky's Discord's interesting.
Guys, I don't want empty boxes of Krispy Kremes. All right, thanks very much.
It's just the photos are flying in. Thanks for giving us your email, Neil, so we can email you empty boxes.
Oh, Stephanie's gonna send me some elk meat to make jerky out of. If nobody's ever had elk meat before,
Oh, I have.
it's like the best fucking red meat you can have. Like, I've lost my taste for venison.
Moose.
I've never had moose, but I've had tons of elk, and I really, really like it.
It's probably really disgusting, Neil. You
Elk
should
is
probably
right under moose for me.
You should probably send me some so I believe you. I just don't believe you.
You can get rid of it for you.
Well, I used to hunt because hunting's a big thing here in Michigan, and I've very much lost my taste for venison. Like, I'll cook it for people, but I just don't care for the taste anymore. But we have a bunch of elk up by Vanderbilt, like up here in Michigan, and you have to put your name in for a lottery, and I put my name in every year for like 10 years, and I never got it, so I was never able to kill elk here in Michigan and eat it. But I had a buddy that used to charter a trip to Colorado every year and spend a week out there, and he'd come back with like 1,000 pounds of elk meat.
Damn.
Really good shit. I love elk. Can't get enough of it.
Always up to his old shenanigans. He's
the old triple coin.
Yeah, he did, but he sent me kind of funny. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. That was his first one. And his second one was Gotta Love Sesame Street. And his third one was triple coins with 2 exclamation points. I'm like, what? What even was that?
You know, he's got to get his.
Yeah, he does. He absolutely does.
And also, stand by.
Oh, dun, dun, dun.
So I love those. Have you had there's one that's like cracked black pepper and salt?
I didn't care for it.
Oh my God, those are like the best thing I've ever put in my mouth.
All right, these
Taco Supreme. I've never seen that. Shit.
I'd like, oh, they'll probably have a nice little taco taste. If you took a sauce packet and chewed it up in your mouth, that's what I was like. Oh, y'all put a lot of dust on these. Oh, buddy. I like pop you pop like I was driving. I'm like, you pop like a handful in your mouth, like
yeah.
Oh, that was way too much. Oh,
no good.
Oh boy, that's a lot of sauce.
It's like you just took a tablespoonful of cumin to the face, huh?
Instead of putting it on the taco, it's like you dipped the taco in the sauce. You just put your whole fist in the jar. What do you have taco sauce in buckets? What do you mean? Why?
This is how you're supposed to do it. God, you alone.
Yeah, see, Air's right. Yeah, moose is best. But I hear kangaroo is very good too. And Mark's from Australia, so it's not surprised.
Is that something we could even get here in North America?
Yeah, you can. You can get anything. You just order it online.
I'm on it.
Yeah, I was supposed to find out how to send jerky to Emma Thorne, and then that I forgot. So I think she's probably mad at me for that. Whoops.
Ooh, they want a lot of money.
Emma's great too. She's got a great sense of humor. Hi, Jenna. Anyway, so let's get now that we're done with all the garbage, now we've took out the trash a little here and talked about your joining up with Creaky.
Joined forces.
Let's talk a bit about how you found your way out of the beliefs.
So yeah, well, I was raised in the church. My mom was actually raised Irish Catholic, and has horror stories about the nuns and the Catholic schools that she went to, beating the shit out of the kids with rulers and stuff. But when she got married, she converted to Baptism. And my dad was always Protestant, but more or less non-denominational. So when we lived, because I was born in Chicago, we lived there till I was 8. And the church we went to in Chicago was one of those very upbeat evangelical, almost kind of like Southern Baptist, where people are standing up, when they're praying and stuff. And then we moved here to Farmington Hills, Michigan, which I actually live right across the street from the house I grew up in. It's on the other subdivision.
Okay.
And it was a very it's a more affluent suburb of Detroit. So we started going to this other church, and I noticed that the people there were very, very different than the people that from the other church that I had went to that I don't remember the name of. And I had ADHD like a motherfucker. Like I was in school, I couldn't walk down the hallway. I ping-ponged off the wall. So I was a lot to deal with. And I noticed that the people in the church, that this new church, were just dicks. So I immediately was like, oh, this kind of sucks. And I'm 8 years old. But I was all about it. I got baptized. I went to Sunday school on Sundays, and then on Wednesdays we had youth group, and I was all about it. And it was probably between 86 and 87. My parents used to get like Science Magazine and Discovery Magazine because they wanted me to be smart, me and my sister to be smart. And I mean, that was futile because I'm an idiot. But there was an article in it. It was a big multi-page article about James Randi and his Randi plant, where he would go to these faith healers and debunk them. And he hated the term debunked. He would never use that term.
Expose.
Yes, expose, I think, is what he was more liking.
Yeah.
But it was primarily about the Peter Popoff when he caught him with the mic and his wife feeding him the information off the prayer cards. And I was like,
just
wow.
FYI, the way Randy put it is he doesn't really debunk anything.
Right.
They've already done it because he just exposes that they've done that what they are doing is nonsense and bullshit, and you're being scammed.
He was like the psychic guy, like when people said they had claims that they had like telekinesis and all this stuff. He was like, cool, come on the show, and then like, okay.
Well, he had the TV. There was a show in England back in the 80s that he did where he would have people come on that claimed that they could use dowsing rods and crystals and extrasensory perception, and he would point out the flaws in it or show how they're faking it, or more often than not, because he was the politest motherfucker ever and a Canadian. He would just say, this is we can't rule out this factor of it just being by chance that this happened, because they would have the math to worked up and show their work. This is before Common Core. Anyway, but anyway, I thought that was fascinating. I was like, because at that point I probably would have believed about faith healing and stuff because I loved going to church and everything. And I had a skeptical brain because I was always like, how did Noah's Ark work? Come on, really? And it's like you just kind of take it on faith. And I loved dinosaurs. I still love dinosaurs. I'm 44 years old. Dinosaurs are fucking great. But that was a question that nobody could answer for me when I was 6, 7, and 8. Like, if God made everything, what happened to the dinosaurs? You know what I mean? So I had a skeptical brain to begin with. But then I saw that, and then I started looking deeper into the James Randi stuff. And specifically the Randi plants where he, got, exposed the faith healers. And then it was a very steady progression of, reading the Bible and then reading, the opposite side of it and coming to my own conclusion. And then especially once YouTube came around with all the atheist content creators, I was already an atheist, but once I started watching R&R, I was like, well, shit, I was right. Fuck you. Yeah. So I mean that's really it. Like I said, it's not a super long or tragic story. I mean, I was mistreated in that church. I was abused by a couple of the people that were higher up in the church. So I'm sure that had a lot to do with me wanting to find something else. But it's to me, it just always seemed like a logical progression of questioning, finding an answer, realizing that answer doesn't jive with what I've read in the Bible, and then going. But if you think about, like, to my mind, and I'm going to remind everybody, I'm a fucking idiot. I mean, if you look at like anthropology and just think about how we've evolved as a species, the church was hugely beneficial to keeping people doing what you wanted them to do. So in my mind, religion has always equaled control. yes, there's a money aspect, especially now when you have these, billion-dollar fucking ministries in Texas with these 30,000 seat fucking stadiums getting filled every
Joel.
Sunday. Yeah, Olstein, what a
Olstein.
piece of shit.
Hosting.
Fucking, which just disgusts me.
He has the old Houston Rockets arena as a church.
Right?
The fucking NBA, like the 4th or 5th biggest NBA basketball team's old arena.
It's just disgusting. But like before all that, before the money thing, it was control. If you tell a group of people that, if you act like an idiot, this thing is made us, is going to get pissed off and send you to hell. It doesn't require that much enforcing if you can get them to believe.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
That's how I always looked at it.
Oh, for sure.
So it just, I don't know. It's funny because I'd called my mom earlier this afternoon, and like I said, she's the one that took us to church, and my sister's still religious, and she's got my niece growing up religious. And I've avoided talking about atheism with my mom for years and years and years and years. I just don't bring it up because I love my mom and my mom loves me, and I don't want there to be any friction. I might be a pussy. Call me a pussy. I don't care.
No, you just love your mom.
But I just don't want there. It's not that I think it's that I don't want her to be disappointed because I know what she believes.
Mm-hmm.
But I had called her today, to talk to her about V and the fact that, she's not a great grandma anymore, or yet. Not anymore. Ooh, that was, God, I hope that wasn't a Freudian slip. Shut the fuck up, Paul. Okay, other Paul. And we were talking about Creaky. I don't even remember how I got on that subject with her, and she's like, well, I know that you work for him. I really want to see some of the stuff. I'm like, well, watch his flat earth stuff, because she's still very religious. And I go, and then she asked what I did, and I had to explain to her what I do. And then, like I said earlier, the shit that I've done for Creaky Stream is primarily atheist stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So it got kind of brought up, and I'm like, so I go, Mom, I don't want you to think that we're against religion or against people like you that are just the everyday, Christian. We're going up against people like Kent Hovind and Ken Ham and Matt Powell, these young earth creationists. She's like, well, I'm a young earth creationist. I went, oh, because we've never talked about this ever.
Right.
I was like, motherfucker. I'm like, well, I go, Ma, we got trees that are older than 9,000 years old. How can you think that the earth is 6,000? Trying to say it very, diplomatically and not trying to be, confrontational in any way. And she's like, well, I maybe not 6,000, but I don't believe that the earth is, millions and billions of years old. I go, Mom, we got, radiometric dating and stuff. And
we have a rock that they found here in Canada up north that is now the oldest rock that they've ever found, and it is 3.8.5 billion years old.
Well, and then she had the and I hate to say this is my mom, but the typical Christian comeback is, oh, you can't trust the dating process.
Certainly you can.
I was like, yes, you can. I mean, obviously there's a window of error, but that window of error is,
minuscule.
Less than your.
If you think in times of the age of the universe in general, it's minuscule.
Yeah.
It would be like the clock almost hitting midnight, but there's like 2 seconds left.
Right.
That's how close it is.
Right. But when I had to explain to her, I was like, look, the people that we point and laugh at on Creaky's show are these awful, awful people that have these really strange beliefs that take the Bible 100% literally. And I explained to her Matt Powell, because he's a true piece of shit.
Oh yeah.
I was like, I go, Ma, the guy's been on fucking interviews, and this is poignant to her because 2 of her grandkids, one's gender, agender, and the other one's bi. My youngest, 16 years old, and was trans, and then detransitioned from that, but is still gay. Mm-hmm. Kid, you're figuring yourself out. I get it, but they're not the typical, heterosexual. I go, Ma, this Matt Powell guy's been on camera saying that he thinks that the Bible says homosexuality is a sin. You know, all homosexuals should be killed, and he believes that the fucking U.S. government should do it. And she's like, no. And I said, see, Ma, that's why you're different. That's why my content, or Creaky's content, really, because it's really him. I was like, that's why you should watch it, you know, with an open mind. And just try to glean something from it other than us coming at you. We're not coming at you, the you know, the regular person that's a, you know,
it's
Christian. It's the ideas and then these motherfuckers that are dangerous.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And she's like, okay. So I sent her a link to one of Creaky's. It was the Surfing Monkeys one, which is great because I got Creaky to do a shout out for V for their 19th birthday last March on it. I was like, you got to watch this. I wish it was on a flat earth one, but
right. It avoided some things.
Yeah. But no, I mean, my mom is still very religious. Like I said, my sister and my niece still go to the church every Sunday, and we just don't talk about it really.
Right.
You know?
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, well, because you don't want to upset her, right? I mean,
yeah.
I was afraid, actually, to be honest with you, Paul, I was afraid to talk to my mom about it for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
And then one day we were out and we were talking about, because she uses expressions like, you know, God bless you, or, you know, oh, for the love of God, or she's Jewish though, so there's no Christ involved in this.
Right.
But, you know, oh, Neil, that was a mitzvah. You'll do good in God's eyes. It's like these sort of expressions that they have, right?
Yeah.
And then one day we're out and we're having brunch, because I take my mom out for brunch every single Sunday.
That's dope.
Unless I'm out of town or something.
Mm-hmm.
And she hates it when I go out of town. I'm like, get Marla to go with you. Like my sister, like, Marla will take you out. Like, you know, you don't have to be alone on a Sunday. But and one day we're talking about it, and I told her about my channel and what I'm doing. She goes, you know, I don't know if I believe anymore either. And I'm like, want to come on my show, Mom? But
nice.
But she's like, well, you know me and technology. I'm like, yeah, that's true. You'll be sitting there like this. Okay, am I doing it right?
You got it. Fucking
yeah. No, literally, we were doing the FaceTime thing with my sister one time, and my mom couldn't figure out her little iPad thingy. So she's got it, and she puts it down on the table, and she's talking. And they're like, look at the camera, Mom. So she like moves, like, and all they could see was the top of her head. That's all they could see.
My mom's sending me pictures. Like, look at my new hairstyle. You just see like the top inch of her head. Is like, looks
one
great
curl
so
or something.
Yeah, looks great so far, Mom. Looks great.
I see the rest now. What's going on?
Do you have to like pay more to see that? Like, what is this?
I was just downloading off of a 28K modem. That's all, landline.
28K, better than my 14K. Jeez.
Shit.
Please don't take me back to those days, man.
My modem's still 1,200 baud. What are you talking about? Like,
I remember those days.
It was a dark time.
I started. It was 300 baud when I started.
Yeah.
And when it got to 1,200, we were like, "Holy fuck,
bro!" I remember
so fast.
I built my first PC. It was in the early 90s, and it was a 386. And I'm like, "This is the shit. This is cool." And then like the next month, the Pentiums came out. And I was like, "Fuck me!" So I built the Pentium 2, and I was playing Diablo over the BattleNet on a fucking 56K modem, and I was like, "This is fast." My buddy Mark lives like the next county over. And it was a test bed for the cable modem in Michigan. Well, in Southeastern. So his dad signed up for it, and they had the cable modem. Played Diablo on a cable modem. Dude, you'd hit the button to teleport down into the dungeon. You were waiting at least a minute and 30 seconds for all the other cocksuckers to get down there with you. Oh, my God. It was so glorious.
It was a golden age.
It was.
Wow. So we have someone, Stephanie Brown, who I'm assuming you know, Paul.
Yeah, Stephanie's great.
Who hasn't come out to her parents, started a separate Facebook page. So, Stephanie, I'm assuming you have a story to share?
Stephanie would make an amazing guest for this show specifically. I got to get her on Creaky's show. I'm still trying to work that out. And like I've been messaging her on Discord, but apparently she's been gone because of some fuckwit.
Yeah.
But Stephanie's deconversion story on this show will blow your mind.
Then that's got to happen. So Stephanie, find me on Twitter at 604 Atheist. And send me a message. We'll set it up.
Her story's great, and she's such a sweetheart. I love Stephanie to pieces. So,
all right, fair enough.
Yeah.
Okay, so you see, you don't really want to tell your mom. You've spoken a little bit about it with her. Like, so does she actually know that you're a non-believer now, Paul?
Kind of, yeah. I mean, it's like my sister knows, my dad knows, and you know, she's just, and literally this was just today, like 4 hours ago, that this conversation happened, which is super ironic. And she gets it, but she's a very kind, loving, and open-minded person. You know, when my youngest was transitioning, when they were trans, you know, first of all, she was really scared to tell me, which broke my heart because I have a really good relationship with my kids.
Aww.
And when Nex finally came and told me, and it was like, I didn't want to tell you because I didn't know how you'd react. I'm like, I mean, I'm your dad, right? I love you. You know that. And they're like, yeah, but Nex has a hard time showing emotions anyway. She's a lot like me. Not like my other two kids will just fucking boom, blow up with emotions. Anyway. And then Nex was really, really nervous about telling grandma because we all know that grandma's very, very religious. And I had that conversation with my mom, and this is last year. And I told her, I said, I go, you know, Nex is really nervous to know what your reaction is. And she just starts crying. She goes, Paul, I'm their grandma. If I don't have their back, who's going to? And I was just like, dude, you're the best, you know? And I shared that with Nex, and we had a good cry. But I mean, my mom is so very religious, but like super, super open and loving and doesn't want any harm on anybody. And, you know, there's a lot of Christian people I've known. They couldn't give a fuck. You know what I mean? And there's a lot of people specifically in the church.
Most of them are that way.
The church that we started going to when we moved here, I got the feeling from a lot of people that were higher up in the church that they were there just for the clout. You know what I mean? It's like, oh, I go to church and I do this for the church and I'm better than you because of that. And it's like, you know what? Fuck you. You know? But there's few, like even the pastor that my ex-father-in-law, who's now passed away, was best friends with, this guy, Pastor Baker. I love the guy to death. And clearly the dude's a pastor, so he's a very, very firm believer, but he was one of the most genuine and kind people I've ever known. You know, and it's like the thing with the problem I have is that if you truly believe in your religion, Christianity, you all should be like that. It shouldn't be that the minority is the person that's the actual good person, you know? So,
Well, you know, you never know, man. I've had many folks on here that are priests or pastors or missionaries even that were doing it and not being believers at the same time.
Yeah.
But they didn't know what else to do, so they stayed doing the job.
And couldn't tell because they lose other credibility.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. So
that's right. And a lot of times it tears them apart. Like it's like this constant little grinding gear in your head that's
I get you.
Nuts, you know?
Yeah.
So,
it's crazy. I don't know.
I plan on at some point getting Dan Barker on here, and he's going to talk about that exact kind of thing.
That'd be cool.
Right? I hope so.
Come on, Dan. God damn it. Let's go.
Oh, well, I haven't even reached out to the guy yet, but I do plan on doing so. Everyone, sometimes like with some of the bigger names, I get a little bit nervous, and I know I probably shouldn't because that's not really my nature to be nervous around people, but just some that I watched before I started doing all this for years. I'd watched these guys, and it's like, well, you get a little starstruck, I guess, a little bit.
Yeah, no, I get that. I get that while I'm booking people for Creaky shows sometimes, like
Sure, yeah.
like I've been a fan of R and Ra for 10 years. And we've had we communicate via email periodically, and he's always answered my emails and always been super
He's
fucking
good for
cool.
that.
Yeah. And I remember when I first told Creaky, he kind of didn't believe me. I'm like, no, dude, this is legit, man. He's like, for real? And then when it was coming down to the day of, he's like, I'm not sure about this. I'm a little nervous. I go, he's a pretty big name and he's, really, really intense. I go, yeah, but like,
He's really,
that's,
really cool is what
yeah,
he is.
he's fucking laid back as long as you're not shitty. He's
Yep.
intense when he's got to deal with a moron,
Yeah.
And that was a great fucking stream. It's probably still, and that was the first one that I had booked and like had 100% creative on. And that is probably our best performing one still. And that was months ago.
Not surprising.
So, yeah.
That's right. I mean, Arn is a great guy. I put away many a beers with the man, and yeah, we get along great. I think he's hilarious, and he's like, he keeps telling me that I got to go over to his house so he can make this giant steak on his barbecue, because I've never actually been to his house, but we've been pretty much everywhere else down there. And he's like, I wish you lived down here, and I'm like, yeah, me too sometimes, man. So,
not anymore.
Yeah, well,
fuck Texas now.
I'd still live in Austin.
Austin's about the only safe haven in it, but you still the laws that they're passing down there, for wanting to jail parents of trans kids for getting them HRT drugs is fucking ridiculous.
It's stupid, and they should. I don't know how they're even allowed to discuss shit like that. To even think about making it some sort of law. That's ridiculous. You're talking about human rights for people, and you have no fucking say in that shit.
Well, that's a huge thing that we just had on this last stream, because we had Katie on there, Katie Montgomery, and obviously she's like one of the biggest trans advocates I know, and super fucking smart, and just on top of everything, and
smart, gorgeous, talented. I mean, she's the whole gamut.
Whole fucking package, dude. I love Katie. Katie, marry me. Just kidding. Is that awkward? Did I make it awkward?
No.
Shit.
Not yet.
Not yet. Not yet.
We're working on it.
But he promises he'll find a bike. I don't have a bike anymore, so he told me he'd find a bike and we could go riding.
Well, he still has connections to some guys in Arizona that could definitely get you a bike easy. So
yeah.
That was
somebody. You don't need that anymore, right?
I think the game plan moving forward is we're all going to Canada, Neil. So don't worry about going to Austin. We're all escaping. So
you're all coming up here.
Just
Arn
some land.
Arn said he'd live up here, but
that's what I'm saying. We're out of here, dude.
So I've been to Manitoba in January. It's fucked. 30 degrees below zero.
30. Oh, you got off lucky.
I did.
50.
Hot day.
Well, I was picking up it was a 1955 Chevy Stepside out of a barn that had been in for 40 years. So I was on the ground rolling around in the dirt snow or snow dirt or snert, whatever the fuck you want to call it up there.
That was a warm day.
That was not fun. I used to work for a Russian guy, and he was from Siberia, and he had moved to the States in '95, so he was super Russian. You know what I mean? He had the fucking accent. And I worked. It was a repair shop, an auto repair shop, and we would close the roll doors because it's cold outside. And if it was under 40, he wouldn't care, but if it was 41 degrees, he'd get mad. Man, open doors. It is, customers think we're closed. What is this shit, my professional American boys? And he'd get mad. I'm like, Vasily, it's cold, dude. He's like, man, come here. And he'd go in his office.
Cold.
He'd open up his little laptop and he'd Google Earth. And he's like, this is my village in Siberia. It's negative 40 degrees F right now. They have T-shirt on. It is not cold. Open doors. I'm like, motherfucker, dude.
I can't argue with that logic.
I was like,
no, that's Stockholm. No, homie. Alexi, that's Stockholm syndrome. We're not dealing with that. You just want it the same because you're used to mistreatment. No. No. We're going to progress. He was
an interesting guy to work for, too. Man, my wife made the best pierogies ever. They were so good.
I fucks with pierogies.
Dude. And she would make these. They were like, it wasn't just a bunch of little ones like you're used to. It was just this big motherfucker, right? And this
Oh,
big
hell yeah.
casserole dish. And you'd have to. Oh,
The
man.
pierogi loaf.
Dude, it was so good.
It's a giant pierogi pillow.
Dude, I kept bugging him like, tell your wife that I will pay amount of money, whatever she wants, to get this recipe and teach me how to do it because this is the shit. Never happened.
Oh, damn it.
Mm-hmm.
Now,
My roommate likes to make pierogies from scratch once in a while, and fuck, she makes the nice big ass ones, not the little ones you buy in little bags.
It's more like a pasty than a pierogi, right?
Yeah, and
Yeah.
they're delicious, loaded with bacon and potatoes and cheese and stuff. Oh yeah.
Yeah, I don't believe you. So you should probably have someone sent over, and then I can try it. And see.
I'll snap a couple pictures for you, Mickey.
There's
Yeah,
a place.
Photoshop, you know how it is. So I'll just.
It's fake, deep fake.
Yeah,
there's
just send one
a
over.
place near me it's called Jenny's, and like they make the best Polish pasties, but the problem is they make them and then they freeze them. But even after thawing them, they're still fucking amazing.
Okay.
But it's funny because you walk in and it's all Polish flags. It's all, the eagle, the red, the white.
Yeah.
But man, their pierogies are really good too. But the same thing, they make them and they freeze them, and then you buy a bag of them motherfuckers and you gotta warm them up. But still, oh god, so good.
So good.
Man, I'm a fat guy. You can't fuck with me on food like
that. I think we all like to eat,
dude.
Yep. Actually, you know what my mom said to me the last time I saw her? Took her out for, and I even paid and shit, even after she said this. She was getting a little chubby there. It's because I keep having brunch with you every Sunday, Mom.
Yeah, that's what it is. You keep making me eat all these pierogies.
No, we go out and I get the big ass breakfast with like the toast and the waffles and the eggs and the bacon and the sausage and the hash browns, and then I order dry ribs. You got to do it, right? You need the full pork bowl, right?
She might have a point. If you're ordering a full brunch.
And you're already my mom's favorite fucking friend of mine now because you're on her side.
Do you eat all the dry ribs too, or do you take some home, or how's that?
No, I eat them there.
Right on. Okay.
I'm not trying to take.
They won't even make it home.
He's just like, yeah, I'll take them home. In the car ride home, just
chucking bones out the window. Sorry about that.
Some people like to have sunflower seeds on a road trip. Neil, not so much.
Give me them fucking ribs.
Eating ribs.
It's like I had this meme that I must have posted on Facebook many years ago, but it says this 105 old lady says the secret to a long, happy life is bacon. Like, well, I can't argue with that.
I concur. Bacon's awesome.
I love bacon so much. I even have a bacon lollipop.
Oh shit!
We're gonna put some bacon candles for aromatherapy in the merch shop.
So here's a cooking
right over there.
A cooking life hack. You take your pound of bacon, you cut it in half, you put them on your George Foreman grill and cook them like that.
Yeah, that's a smart way to do it.
Just give me it when it's done.
It's so easy. You just put them on there. You walk away and you come and get them. The fat all runs off. They cook all the way through. You don't get spit in the face with that hot fucking oil.
That's why you never cook bacon naked.
Hey, I've been making breakfast shirtless forever, and I have the scars to prove
These aren't freckles.
There's nothing like bacon grease on a nipple. I'm just saying.
Oh. And then you see it coming in slow motion. You try and get out of the way.
Fucking, the Matrix did not work. Shit.
You just try and try.
Covered in bacon grease now. Yay.
Yeah, they get you.
And do not put that shit down your sink, because that'll fuck up a trap easy.
No, we can this stuff and use it periodically for stuff.
Oh yeah, no, the bacon lard, that shit is great to cook in, better than butter.
I think I'm gonna season my cast iron with it, but I don't know the what's it called?
Wait, what? What? You have no idea what a pierogi is? Get out of here! Come on,
Stephanie, I'll hook you up.
Now hold on. Now this might fall into the same categories like chorizo and a lot of like very like ethnically specific items. Motherfuckers don't tell everybody about everything. Like, you know what I mean? Like Locadell cheese is great, But Italians give us Parmesan, and we just think Parmesan is the best thing ever. They don't tell you that that's the bottom tier. So you might know, oh, Polish sausage. I guess that's what Polish people. They don't tell you about the pierogis. They keep them for themselves. They don't tell you about chorizo. They just let you walk around eating Crunchwrap Supremes all day. They keep the good stuff for them.
Fuck out of here with the maple. They don't even know how to spell leaves.
There's no
the Habs. Habs.
Fuck the Leafs.
No shit. Fuck, I had a point and I lost it. Goddamn beer.
Pierogi.
Oh, yeah, pierogi. No, I tried to get a calzone.
Pierogi.
For nobody that's had a good, like, legit Italian calzone.
Yeah, man.
Oh, my God. They're so delicious.
So
I lived in Connecticut for 3 years. And Connecticut, no offense, is boring as balls. There's nothing to do there. So every weekend, I was like an hour and 20 minutes from downtown Manhattan. Well, I'm old. My balls are boring right now. Anyway,
down by my knees.
That's funny because I changed my gamer tag on a couple of the fucking games I play to I sat on my balls. People get it. Some people don't. Anyway.
Some people get it.
And then I started to cry. So when I lived on the East Coast, I would go into, downtown Manhattan. You'd find a good Italian place and get a fucking badass calzone. What's the one primary ingredient that needs to be in a calzone? Ricotta fucking cheese.
I was about to say the cheese.
Yep.
Right. I just the other day, in fact, it was yesterday, I was talking to V because before they had went to the hospital, my ex-wife was going to pick him up, take him out to have some food because they told V that they could eat before, they went in and have the labor induced. And V's like, where should I have her take me? I go, dude, we need to get you a real calzone. So I called 3 places around here. Nobody puts ricotta cheese in it. I'm like, how do you call it a calzone without the fucking ricotta?
I'm going to break your heart. So the bastardized version that Pizza Hut has been slinging. Yeah, I'm calling you out, Pizza Hut. It's a medium pizza folded in half.
Right. So Jet's Pizza. They have the deli boats. And they have the jet boats, which is about the closest thing you can get.
Mm-hmm.
But it still doesn't have any ricotta.
Yeah.
It's like you can't call it a calzone without the goat cheese in it, man.
Yeah, it's got to have it.
Yeah.
Look, yeah.
So good.
Well, Stephanie,
I'm so hungry right now.
If you've not had pierogies before, personally for me, I think the best way to do is you boil them first, and then you pan fry the shit out of them.
Oh, yeah.
In bacon grease.
Oh, bacon grease is even better.
Yeah,
Yep.
Yeah, and then a little seasoned salt or something. And then you pile on the sour cream and the bacon bits and the chives, and you just go to town. Treat them like they're like little chunks of baked potato or something, because you can get them all with potato and onion in them, or cheese in them, or even sometimes bacon in them, like my roommate makes. But she makes hers by hand, right? And they're larger. So.
Oh.
Whoa! Look
at that.
that.
Turn the thing off. Hold on.
Oh, yeah. You gotta get rid of that there.
There you go.
They're kind of like pot stickers with potatoes.
Yeah,
and they're delicious.
You always have. I highly recommend you always caramelize some onions to go with them.
Yeah.
Or throw all the onions
white
in the
onions,
garbage.
Not sweet onions. White onions.
White onions. Yeah.
Just take the white onions, put them right in the garbage, tie up the bag, drive it to the dump yourself. Just get them out of your house. I agree.
When you're drinking up beers, it all tastes good. Well,
if you're gonna find somebody's little Polish grandma that's still making some pierogies, man, get them damn pierogies while they're hot. Get them, dude. Try them. Beg. Do
pierogies
yard work,
or pasties.
You gotta do.
Pasties are good too, and it's kind of the same thing.
Whatever it takes to get yourself some pierogies.
Good stuff.
Yeah. Oh,
where's
definitely
my wife
delicious.
I need some damn pierogies. She know how to make those.
Wife, where are you? Make some pierogies.
Yeah, what's up with the pierogi action around this house? What's the man got to do for some pierogies? Been playing Halo hard. I've been hard at playing Halo all day. Where's my hot pierogies?
Playing the Infinite.
Oh yeah, she's gonna beat my ass when she sees this. Hopefully she's napping. Please be asleep.
She's still gonna wake up and see it and be like, "Motherfucker."
Hopefully not. Hopefully not. I mean, I hope we get the views.
I'll just all right. Well, Paul, if you could give someone some advice that's coming out of a belief system that that is having some doubt, what kind of advice would you give them?
Well, once again, I am an idiot.
Yep.
Keep an open mind.
You're not an idiot, Paul. You're the idiot.
Okay, I'm gonna
Hey,
change
hey, hey,
change
hey!
I'm
my
gonna knock
handle
you up a
here.
little.
You're our idiot,
Right on.
on.
But the one thing I would say is keep an open mind, because the hardest part is the people that have that closed biblical mind and aren't able to think outside of that box. And then the other thing would be there are plenty of resources to help people with deconversion and
links below for all
yep,
that shit.
recovery from religion, all that stuff. There's people out there. What's really cool is and this was I found this out after Aaron went to the Satan Con, and he hooked up with these people that are AA advocates that remove the spirituality or God portion, because part of a 12-step program is to and Stephanie can actually talk about this too, because she's a badass about this stuff. This is what she used to do. Part of the 12 steps is to surrender yourself to a higher power, which I always have had a problem with. It's like, what do people do that have a major problem with drugs or alcohol or gambling that don't believe in that higher power? And there's even there's groups for that too. And I forget what Aaron had a link to the two folks that ran the one at the Satan Con where he was at, and I'm sure there's more, but they seemed like good people. So there's support out there for, you're not going to go through it by yourself. It's just like anything else,
Are you talking about the Secular Therapy Project?
That's one of them for sure. See, I've got my YouTube on another screen, so I feel like a dick looking away from the camera.
I do that all the time.
I have like 6 different links for stuff like that down below.
Yeah.
Including Marlene Winnell's little getaway camp thing that they have there. And Janice Selby does stuff for court, like conference on religious trauma. Yeah, conference on religious trauma. That happens here every year. Her little story about that was kind of fascinating too, because the guy she was dating at the time robbed her blind from all that shit. Yeah, it was brutal.
So the link in Aaron Ross channel, if you go to his videos, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 rows down, and it's the Satanic Sobriety is the header.
That's the secular version of the same thing as AA.
Yeah, exactly. That which I didn't know existed until then, and that was 2 months ago. So I thought that was fucking great. Just
Absolutely.
another resource for us folk.
Well, my friend, we have gone over the hour.
Oh shit.
Yep, I know, it's time just goes boop when you have
man. Especially when I've got diarrhea of the mouth.
Well, that's why you need those little face diapers we were wearing for a while there.
I still got masks.
Me too.
I still wear mine. Shit.
I do too, like in places where there's other people. Like if I'm just walking out the hall for a smoke or something, there's hardly ever anyone in my hallway, but I'll wear it in the elevator or in the underground, stuff like that, where people are more likely to be. Because I'm really close to the door anyway, so I'm not gonna. The chances of me passing somebody are like that
0. So. Gotcha.
Yeah, so even if that's the case, if someone does come out, I generally will, go around them.
Hey, Stephanie, real quick, Stephanie, message me on Discord, because if your camera and shit are working, I would love to have you in the after party on this, if you're willing to. I know that you had some stuff go on, but as soon as we end this, we're going to have an after party. I'll check my Discord to see if you've messaged me. This is Radio for One at this point. I'm so sorry.
You're fine.
I would love to have her on the after party, because she is
a
very interesting person that I would love to have on your show.
Yeah, well, I would love to have her on as well.
Yeah.
And hopefully my vape wasn't too loud. I muted myself a couple times. Sometimes I didn't. I
You're
apologize.
fine. You're fine.
So far, you're all right.
So far.
But we're done here anyway, so it doesn't really matter because we're going to get into the after party.
Right on.
Which reminds me, guys, if you're interested in hanging out with Paul and Mikey and myself, please let us know through one of the usual social media messaging type things there, and we'll get you a link, and you can jump in here with us and hang out with us.
I'm a riot. Let's go.
I'm so hungry. I don't even know if I'm being the after party. I'm about to go get me like 17 plates of food and come sit down and eat it.
I flaked out, didn't I?
A little bit.
Accidentally tapped my every time I hit the computer, it's like
It doesn't like it when you do that.
It's all squirrely. Anyways, if you guys are interested in joining us for the after party, let myself and Mikey know through one of the usual social media outlets. And oh, jeez, we'll get a link for you, and you can come and join us for the show or the after party. And thank you, Paul, again for being
my pleasure.
And thank you guys out there in the chat over on Twitch and Twitter, and also on YouTube here. Appreciate you guys hanging out. It means a lot, and it helps the show out. So I thank you very, very much for all you do. And also thanks to my amazing patrons. The show wouldn't be what it was if you guys weren't helping me out. So I appreciate all you guys do for the show. Really do. And that's a wrap, guys. We're going to call this one in the books, and then we're going to get into the after party. We are taking a bit of a break in between the two shows, so probably about 50 minutes or so. And we like to make sure we've got at least a half a dozen people or so in the after party before we go live. So hang out in the chat, which is linked below, and it'll come up at the end of the credits anyways. You can click on it and head over to the after party and wait for us there. Go and grab yourself a refill, have a quick smoke, bogue a joint, pop some edibles. I don't care.
Hit
do what you
the
do.
bowl, man.
There you go.
I still
Hit
can't
the
get
bowl.
Labatt. I got to drink this shit. Fuck me.
And you're thinking Labatt's better. All right, so
I like Labatt, goddammit. Don't judge me.
Judge him. Judge him.
Oh, I'm judging, Paul. I'm a Canadian. I'm allowed to judge. All right, so anyway, that's it, you guys. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
The after party. We'll see you there. Until then, guys, like I always say at the end of the interviews, like the late great Christopher Hitchens once said, it's called faith because it's not knowledge. And we'll see you guys next time.
Bye.